Hello everyone, welcome to the most patriotic and the most freedom-based video game of all time. Welcome to Far Cry 5, the best American simulator on the market. In today's video, I decided to try completing this game with no guns and using only melee to kill my enemies. Now, I know that this isn't very nice of me considering the type of game that I'm playing, but my goal here is to make simple things hard and fun.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't spread over every egg. Why won't you die? You can't hurt me, Jack. Die! Die, you piece of shit!
Anyways, let's start. So we play as a deputy. Me and the squad including sheriff and other deputies, and the guy who clearly has a higher rank on CSGO than any of us. So we have decided to arrest a guy who has been causing quite a lot of trouble in a place that's called Hope County. The weird thing that I can't get out of my mind even after playing this game 5 times is that why are there only 5 of us and 1,000 of them? So moving on, we arrested Joseph C., a religious maniac who has terrorized this place for a while now. Now, we did know that he was dangerous and insane. We just didn't know that he managed to convince those other idiots to believe in his BS. So they somehow managed to crash the helicopter, and I had no choice but to get my ass out of there. And so the great adventure begins, with me killing a guy by the method that was used by our ancestors. And then I found the marshal. Wow, what a coincidence. While panicking, he handed me over a gun, which I'm very thankful for, but I decided a long time ago that I would take a different turn on this problem. But the problems have turned out to be under our noses all along, when me and the marshal were driving away from these assholes. And despite my efforts, it was the only way. Not long after, we crashed. Marshall was taken by the cult and I got saved by a guy who looked like someone's drunk uncle. But turns out he was a very nice guy and he even gave me new fresh clothes. Out of sheer principle, I decided to turn my guy into a Florida man, since in my opinion, this is the best weapon to use against the cult. And so I got out to my first objective. The liberation of the first outpost turned out to be a child's play, and I've done it with minimal effort. Let me give you guys a quick update on what we're dealing with. So the Hope County is divided into 3 regions, each one with their own leaders. And for us to take down Joseph Seed, we needed to first take out 3 of his family members. Now the first asshole who I aimed at was John Seed, a diplomat with a high charisma build who looked like someone you would think is a member of a Sigma male club. He captured one of our romance options, so we have no choice but to cause chaos to piss him off. On my way, I met some goons who weren't very nice to a dog, and as a dog owner myself, I made them regret everything very quickly. Not long after, I got into some trouble while liberating an outpost, and even died a couple of times. Many outposts later, I got captured by one and only Jonathan Joestar. John motherfucking C. John started his dirty rituals on me, but nothing went according to his plan, and we started even a little riot of sorts, barely escaping with our balls intact. Then I got into some more trouble. The cultists, or the Peggies as we refer to in the game, have attacked a church, and my job was to defend it. After a long and tedious battle, I made friends with a sniper lady, and she joined my resistance group. Speaking of resistance group, it is something that I should have mentioned at the start of the video, but I forgot. Not long after, I've decided to take the role of a very angry plumber, liberating this outpost from the pieces of feces that clogged it, making all the plumbers out there proud. Then I stole a plane, and turns out it belongs to someone. So knowing that he wasn't a member of the cult and that I needed more manpower, I decided to gladly return it to the poor guy. But my buddy Nick got his property attacked, so I once again gladly agreed to help him. While swinging my pipe left and right, I proved that this was a pretty simple task for me. Nick then packed all his stuff and decided to go somewhere safe, but his wife insisted that he would stay and help me, which is Pretty f***ing brave of her, considering that she got attacked minutes ago. After doing some more stuff that our little Johnny didn't like, he did me dirty and dragged me into his BDSM dungeon. Thankfully, I managed to escape fully unharmed, and that is something I cannot really say about these movies. Alright, now briefly about John. He is a special one. He's someone like Daniel Bryan except 10 times more menacing.
Yes!
He will make you say yes. And if you don't, he will break into your house, steal your mom's credit card, and probably drop kick your dog on the way back. I snuck past his man, but he got away in time. And on the way out, he told me that I have anger issues, which is partially true. In another mission, I was told to steal a very powerful vehicle from the pigs. It's called the Widowmaker, and is a truck with machine guns attached to it. How patriotic. Unfortunately, this is the second time I was forced to use a firearm in this game. But hey, we're gonna pretend like we didn't hear that, okay? So, after liberating yet another outpost, I was informed that some kind of a truck tank was terrorizing the roads, and it was recently sent by John. As expected, pieces of wood wouldn't do much to that beast, so I was forced to use explosives. After that, John invited me into a peaceful tea party. That went about as well as you can expect. Then the priest offered me to become a Christian, in which I gladly agreed. Now the game, as insane and fun as it can be, answered me in a very cruel way by forcing me to use a gun once again. But wait, don't click off the video yet, because this part is my favorite. So John decided to take our conflict to a whole nother level, 38,000 feet above the ground, if you want to be accurate. From this point on, I thought that I needed to use my guns once more. But then came in my buddy Nick, and he pleasantly surprised me. Without firing a single shot, Nick technically did all the job for me, except the bastard had a parachute, so I had to land down and kick his ass there. But he seemed to have offended my buddy in some way. What could that possibly be? After a little chat about the end of the world, I took the key to his hideout and died. More times than I like to admit. After that, I somehow lost the footage of me destroying this place and rescuing our partner. So I will have to only rely on your trust with this one. Moving on, Joseph then threatened to kill me. Like, personally. And that is something that I did not expect. Without wasting much time, I acquired my ultimate form, the Jiggly Horse. Or, as I like to call him, Mr. Jiggles. After a quick cover-up, I moved to Faith's region, the little sister in this family of 4. My first mission in this region was to find a wild cougar, who turned out to be a house cat. I did the job, we got attacked on our way back, and the cat's name was actually Peaches. And she was proven to be a very good companion, so I took her. Alright, so briefly about Faith. You guys know about Faith, right? Well, while she was selling her bathwater, Faith did exactly the same, but it was her parts. And they hit harder than drugs. And so she used that to make a factory that will eventually poison the water supply of the city. And my job was to blow it up to pieces. She obviously didn't appreciate that and gave me a little doo-doo gas. She then told me a tragic story of how constantly eating at Taco Bell made her like this. The game then told me to jump off a 10-story building or statue at that place, in which I gladly did after listening to that tragic story. Waking up in the middle of nowhere, I saw cultists attack an old jail. Being the brave hero that I am, I quickly attacked them and met the man that I wanted to see the most, dear old Sheriff. After a small chat, another group of enemies came right at us. Now, my tactic was pretty simple. Run around like you would after a child when he's dancing TikTok dances right near your property, and swing around and spam that melee button like you would in any other video. After the battle, Sheriff informed me that he enjoyed it just as much as I did. And here I was, joining yet another group of resistance. Wandering around the region, I quickly stumbled upon a man who quickly became my best friend. We simply had too much in common. and we shared the same passion of blowing the hell up whatever moves. After I helped him with kicking some ass, we promised each other to watch each other's back. Then I decided to clean this place by raiding other outposts. And not gonna lie, I kind of felt like Genghis Khan. Many of them are not that difficult to complete in a stealthy way, even for a guy who sucks at stealth like me. After that, I made my way back to Hope County Jail, and had the task of blowing up the statue that we saw from the start. I had a bad feeling about it, but thankfully the rules suggest that I must not kill anyone with a firearm or explosives, and statues aren't really particularly known to be alive. Unless it's from horror games, then this stuff gets difficult here. Not gonna lie, I died a lot at this part, mainly because of the fact that these monkey brain goons, the rockets, are scattered around the place, which makes it very difficult to stay alive, even if you find cover. But while I made my way up there while avoiding helicopters, I found their very important book and completed the mission by burning it. After another outpost, I got dragged back into her apartment, where she basically told me that I was a naughty boy. But then boom, plot twist, she minds control our marshal and he betrayed one of our guys. Then he decided to hit Alt F4. Waking up, I realized that the jail was captured and it was my job to free everyone. Taking a role that I could describe only as Batman from Wish.com, I barely finished this task in my third try. Shortly after that, I faced Faith in an actual weird LSD type combat. She was also whining all the fight about how bad life has treated her and so on. But thankfully hurling shovels at her face like a monkey turned out to be an effective tactic, and so I prevailed. She also had an effect on my man Sheriff, and the only way to save him was to blow up the factory, in which I gladly did. After the happy cutscene, I got threatened, once again personally, by Joseph. A funny thing then happened. As soon as I stepped into Jacob's region, I immediately got captured by him, which goes to show that he is no joke unlike the rest. He was then lecturing me and other people that he caught about how weak the world has become. And honestly, looking at my generation, or Gen Z if you want to sound fancy, it is pretty hard to disagree with him. He then started hypnotizing me and sending me into some sort of uncontrollable state of rage. And so behold the hardest part of this entire run. To make things short, I can't count how many times I died. I honestly forgot how many times I had to give the Grim Reaper a kiss on the cheek. Soon enough I passed that, and I was saved by yet another group of resistance. Obviously without my permission, I was sent to save some hostages, but hey, I owed them one from the last one. I tried to be as sneaky as possible, but it seems like the cultists have an unusual power of hearing my cheeks clap when I move. Barely saving anyone, I quickly moved to another location. It went even worse, but once again, with my life hanging by a thread and my cheeks clenched hard enough that I started letting out diamonds, I somehow made it out. Not long after, I completed another side mission, and Jacob's men quickly showed me that I was in the wrong neighborhood, and that I should go to play Roblox instead. I met Joseph and was surprised that he didn't start threatening me personally. From here, Jacob sent me through another trip through hell, which is something that I did not like. Seriously, running around and swinging your fists against people while they're shooting you, it's something pretty hard to do. But sure, what about Bagman? Shut up! This asshole has high-tech gadgets, light and strong armor, and lots of money.
Rich.
And what do I have? Oh, I'll tell you what I have. I got LSD in my pants and a rubber horse for a head. And I'm topless. And homeless, I guess. Thankfully, after a therapy session later, I pushed through and I was aiming at a very special place. Why is it special? Well, from what I've heard, they train here people who are soon sent to special operations, which is some serious stuff. This was supposed to be hard, but either I'm a menace, or these men are just people from another outpost, except I must just place some C4s and the area will be clear. The fight was pretty long but simple. Not long after, he made me go on another rampage, and it did not end well. I kicked the poor guy so hard he developed brain aneurysm. But he wasn't a regular hobo-looking guy. He was actually the head of the resistance group, who trusted me, and I killed him.
Fuck.
For obvious reasons, his son and the lady that I don't really know anything about weren't very happy. So, to pay the debt, I had to go and kill Jacob myself. So, to kill him, I first needed to get rid of this hypnotizing song that was messing with my monkey brain. Oh, and in this part I also died a lot. Like, about 5 times. The only way to destroy them was with rockets. Once I got rid of them, Jacob's cheeks were within my grasp. And if not for those medkits, things would have gotten a lot worse. Then he obviously started talking about the end of the world and so on. But that once again did not stop me from breaking into their bunker. On my way, I taught a couple of folks how to cook, and soon enough I found one of my colleagues. For some reason, it makes me want to giggle knowing that I have a horse mask and he looks so desperately at me. But he lost it after a long time of tortures, and I guess we shouldn't worry about that. After this quick hustle, we made it out of there. We then honored the death of our comrade, and most importantly, I got to keep my head after that. We then got to witness where did most of the game's budget went, and he obviously threatened me even more. This time, he told me to meet where it all started. But he managed to put me in a situation where I had no choice but to give up and walk away with everyone. To be sure, he asked me if I'm willing to make this decision. But after all the shit that I have been through, I believe that I will manage to pull this off as well. He did not like it and made a fucking storm. Okay. My friends were under his control, but me and my shovel got them back to their senses. Slowly but surely, we overwhelmed him, and I know I make it sound easy, but it was a lot harder than it looks. I ended the fight by yeeting a shovel right into his forehead. And there we go, victory is ours, and now we can just sit back and enjoy some cans of beer. What we didn't notice is that lunatic pulled off a JoJo move at us and called his Call of Duty noob kill streak. We then drove as fast as possible to the nearest bunker, but we crashed. Yeah, seems like I should have taken the mask off. He dragged me to that bunker and told me that this is exactly the end of the world that he was always talking about. And the end? Wait, what? Okay, I guess I am now held hostage. Well, that's an ending. Anyways, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and give a good and aggressive massage to that subscribe button too. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.
Have you ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle by your girlfriend because she has a twin sister and you got confused and fucked her dad? Well, that's how it feels to drive a Ford F-250.